Good afternoon, Raj.
Good afternoon, Ritesh. So I'm here whenever you want. Okay.
Yes, I'll confirm you when to start the session.
I'm online. Yeah.
कैमरा ऑन करना पड़ेगा क्या?
आप वीडियो
Good afternoon, Mr. Raj.
Very good afternoon to you.
Welcome to GIMS.
Thank you so much. Pleasure to be here.
I hope everything's audible, and if you could just check in
Oh,
the
yeah.
system as well, if the video is also running.
Everything is fine. I can
Okay.
share my screen. Zoom
All
is my
right.
favorite platform, so no problem at all.
The most
Okay.
famous platform these days.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So
it's
I'm
been
good.
the most successful platform.
Yes, it is. So I'm good. Whenever you're ready to start, I'm
Yeah.
online. No
We're
worries.
just waiting for the students to log in because
Oh, yeah.
they had a training program. They just got free from the training program, and they'll be logging in few minutes.
No worries.
Yeah.
No problem. I'm here whenever you want me. Just knock. No
All
problem.
right.
I'm here.
Yeah. Thank
Right.
you so much.
बच्चों को मैं ज्वाइन करवा के आता हूँ
आगे आगे चलो।
पकड़ेंगे मुझे।
क्या?
Ajit Rai, kindly mute yourself. Ajit Rai, you're not on mute. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you all had your lunch, and I can understand it's a hectic day for you all. And probably it's a practice for the future that you get used to of all these things. So let's begin the session. And of course, you had been playing with the data from past 2, 3 days, and you've been analyzing the data, learning what we can do out of data. So again, something of data we will be learning today. If I talk about Aadhaar card, cryptocurrencies, digital payments, shipment tracking, all these things are very familiar to all of us. And in terms of speed, in terms of transmission of data, or in terms of the security of data, which is a buzz everywhere. And it's been really being talked about these days on the media, on social media, everywhere we have these issues coming up in the news as well. The security of the data, the transmission of the data. So something similar to somewhat similar to this, this is something which we will be learning today in this yes, we are series. And I, Dr. Shalini Sharma, on the behalf of the management, faculty, and staff of GNIT of welcome all this great learning platform, which is Chanakya Talk series. And it is a platform which aims to bring the corporate to the classroom. Chanakya, a name which is synonymous to strategy. He was a mentor, he was a philosopher, he was an educator, and he was an economist, and of course, a great strategist, a chief strategist, you can say. So his name has always been associated with statecraft and economics, and per se management as well. We at GIMS endeavor to invite the Chanakyas of the industry and share their experiences with our millennial managers, which give them a real life learning and an opportunity to amalgamate that learning with the takeaways of their classroom, and which leads to enhancement of their skills. Today we have amongst us Mr. Raj Kapoor, the founder of Indian Blockchain Alliance, who will talk on how blockchain is changing our world. Before we ingest the nectar of this corporate gyan, let's begin the customary Saraswati Vandana. Saraswati Mahabhage, Vidya Kamla Lochane, Vidya Rupe Vishalakshmi, Vidyam Dehi Namostate. We pray with all humility to the goddess to give us wisdom to make this world a better place. May we all live in harmony with nature and other forms of life. May the truth prevail. May the darkness of ignorance be swept away by the dawn of self-realization. So we will begin the session with Saraswati Vandana. May I ask the technical team to please do the needful. There is no sound, I think so. We can't hear the sound. Goddess Saraswati is there with us. There has been a technical glitch, and these are the parts and parcels of the usual world now which we are living in. Nevertheless, we are there. We are very sure that we've received the blessings of Ma Saraswati. So let's begin with the session with her blessings. In this, the visionary behind all our endeavors, whose inexorable efforts for the Institute to grow and shine give us the boost to perform persistently, is none other than our director, Dr. Arun Kumar Singh. Now, may I request you to please deliver the welcome address for the event, sir.
Good afternoon all. Good afternoon, the guest of the day, Mr. Raj Kapoor, and faculty members. Thanks to Professor Sharma for the kind words. Now, we are all here to welcome Mr. Raj Kapoor, in fact, have a word of wisdom from his end. And it's a wonderful topic which he's going to deliver a talk, which is quite contemporary. And in fact, very shortly, our students are going to have a certification program for the same. Now, students, you are already working on a, let's say, different kind of data sets which are being thrown in front of you in past 2 days. And you are analyzing them and probably preparing new kind of insights. And probably you'll use this information gradually into your summer internship program also. Now, once we say that the future is going to be somewhat different what it is today, then there are certain platforms, certain technologies which are going to make a tectonic shift in the way we will live and the way the business will be conducted. And one such thing is blockchain. In fact, of late, even in our industry, that is education, many things are happening because of blockchain. Now, just to inform you, students, there is a university called WOOL, which is there in play. So there is a university called WOOL, which is a joint venture of Cambridge, Oxford, and a couple of top reputed institutes, and where you can have a customized education between student and the faculty. So that's the kind of thing, disruptions, new models are evolving, and then there's a tremendous growth possibility in terms of fintech and let's say supply chain, and then international, even the letter of credits are getting verified. So you name industry, there is a tremendous demand of this kind of people who are well versed with this. And that's the reason, under the umbrella of Chanakya Talk Series, we have such an eminent speaker today who will bring you the insight and, in fact, how exactly and what exactly it is going to be and how we as an education institution and you as a student can learn and shape your future. So with that, once again, I welcome Mr. Raj Kapoor, and let's hear him and have the best of the insight for us to carry forward. With that, I once again welcome Mr. Raj Kapoor. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Singh. Really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Your words are always encouraging and they give us a boost to work relentlessly. Okay, let's proceed with the business now. So before we proceed with the insights, what Mr. Raj Kapoor is going to impart, let's know him a little bit more. Mr. Raj Kapoor is an advisory board member at several blockchain companies and the founder and chairman of the India Blockchain Alliance, the largest Indian emerging technology tech think tank. He is an accomplished tech innovation professional, Drupal web application developer, blockchain and cryptocurrency educator, certified Bitcoin professional, blockchain solution architect, community organizer, and friend of disruptive ideas, Protem, chairman for Organization of Blockchain Users, OBTU, and he's also the Asia lead of technology and innovation at Blockspace Technologies Limited, an advisor of Tech Build Innovation Partners. Mr. Raj has helped organize India's biggest blockchain and cryptocurrency events across major cities. And he's also spoken at several international seminars and conferences in Boston, LA, Amsterdam, Copenhagen, Singapore, Durban, Nicosia, and Vienna. And of course, a regularly speaker in India as well in many of the tech events. In India, in Africa, in Malaysia, and Canada, he has been a regular speaker in these tech events. Besides blockchain, he is skilled in AI, robotics, cybersecurity, Internet of Things, and cloud computing. He's also a regular contributor to several technology publications, including Times Tech India. His organization, IBA, is the official blockchain partner at the Africa Tech Week 2020. And he was selected this year as a top cryptocurrency and blockchain influencer by Asian Market Capital. He is also mentoring 20 plus blockchain startups across the globe. And it's not all, there are certain milestones, not certain, plenty of milestones that he's achieved in his life. So I'll be reading them all. He is the founder member, the Blockchain Continuum, blockchain partner with Tech Africa, advisor of Global X Innovation, Kenya, Blockser Canada. He is Director India of Block Edu Canada, advisor of BrickChain Labs USA, Director of Purpose Coalition, Strategic Consultation Doozy Innovations USA, Strategic Advisor of 10,000 Innovation Global, Contributor Decentralized Identity Foundation, DFI Worldwide. He is the partner with Blockchain Collective Australia, India partner with Epoch Blockchain Australia and AI Blockchain USA. He is FinTech Connect community partner with Asia, member SEC of India FinTech, Blockchain and Virtual Financial Assets Regulation Working Group, and FinTech Roadmap Implementation Committee. Member of FinTech Association Strategic Partner, BC Vault it's famously known as, certified cybersecurity expert, strategic business partner, Integrity Consulting LLC, Tel Aviv, strategic tech advisor, Union Systems, Nigeria, board advisor, CodeFest International, Nigeria. He is the India head of Blockchain Institute of Technology, USA, India partner again for Disney, Dragon Chain INC, and Edge 196. He is the India partner Findexable with Global FinTech Index and India ambassador of Threefold Europe. He is the founder of Global Women Blockchain Alliance and international keynote speaker. My goodness, I will have to certainly take a break. So it's a really impressive profile. Impressive, in fact, is a very smaller word, if I would say. So over to you, Mr. Raj. So our students are hungry for the insights on blockchain.
Right. Thank you, Shalini. Thank you so much. And I want to start with one simple thing. It sounds nice, a lot of things, yes. It's all in the same ecosystem. So yes, we do a lot of work, yes, and we're proud of it. I've been actually associated with blockchain now for about 9 years. Out of the 12 years, blockchain has been around. So a lot of people call me the grandfather of blockchain. So I'm quite happy to take the title. That's a title which is not mentioned in my CV, but I'm happy to be known as that. It's okay. And the gray hair works a little, so yeah, that does work. So anyway, that bottom line, amongst all this, and I think yours is a management institute, if I'm not mistaken. Am I correct? Is it more?
Yeah, yes.
Well, how to begin? I am a management grad. I'm an MBA. I am not from a tech background. I am self-driven, complete. I understand 12 technologies. I've learned everything on my own. I have never been to college for this. I am an MBA from Sumayya's Bombay University. So I am, I always tell people, it's blockchain. Don't be scared of it. Don't think that it's some big mythical bird, which we don't know what's, or it's a dinosaur, which we can't see. If an MBA can master it, well, that's your opportunity. That's an opportunity. So today, without having a single day of formal education, at that time there was not, now there is. I know Python, I know Java, I know Ethereum, I know Hyperledger, Corda, Algorand, all the languages which are associated, and protocols and platforms associated with blockchain. In short, relax. If you're not from a tech background, just sit back, relax. You're better off, because then you're not narrow-minded. You can think 360 degrees, open up. And that's my first message to all students. Never fear a technology, because technology is run by you. You, not technology doesn't run you, you run the technology. And blockchain is that one absolute field where there are jobs for techies and non-techies. That's the beauty of blockchain. Now it's your wish whether you like to take on the technical aspect. I had a wish, so I did it. But anyways, you as MBA students have a fantastic crack at a wonderful career. Let me show you how. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my presentation in 2 or 3 bits. I'm going to start showing you what are the headlines over the last 6 months to 12 months? COVID or no COVID, blockchain has not stopped. That bandwagon is moving constantly. I'll show you some headlines. I'll show you my presentation, and in between some fantastic videos. Then you come to know why blockchain is going to matter to you wherever you are, whether you choose it as a career or not. If you choose, it's a great idea, but if you don't choose, it'll still impact you. And at some point of time, your bosses are going to tell you, why didn't you learn blockchain? Why aren't you doing it now? So here's your opportunity to get an inside view of blockchain. And I'm going to start with my headlines now. All right. So here, I'm just going to shut my video. So take care. I'll come back again. And I'm going to show you something which is real fun. Okay, my first screen, I'm going to share some fantastic headlines. Here is the first headline, and that comes up pretty good. We like it. Of course we like it. He says, the demand for blockchain engineers. Now, don't worry if you're not an engineer. The next one is for you. This is for engineers, not a problem. The demand is through the roof. Fantastic. But who manages the engineers? Project managers like you. Here we go. And that's your second headline. So don't worry if you're not an engineer or a developer. All cool, no problem. You are a management student. You manage resources well. And that's where resources like these, if you have blockchain experience, you can manage blockchain resources. Very critical. So sky high salaries for blockchain professionals. This does not say developers. This says professionals. You would be one probably. I'll have a look at another one. There's another one which says blockchain developers likely to earn double or triple. Wow, that's nice. Nice. Look at this one. It says blockchain is not just for techies. That's exactly what I've been saying. It's not just for techies. And look what's happened here. Do you know that India's first crypto bank has opened up in Jaipur? Yes, it's a physical bank, just like your ICICI, HCFC, SBI, whatever. But now it's a physical bank dealing in cryptocurrencies. This is the first of the 100 branches opening over the next 2 years. And they are looking at blockchain professionals, not only on the tech side. We have partnered with them for training about 1,000 people over the next 2 years, all on blockchain concepts, crypto concepts. Well, out of the 1,000 odd, about just 200 to 300 are technical. The rest are non-technical. Here's an opportunity to be part of a revolution, a new form of banking, crypto banking. That's big news. All right, with that, let me start my presentation. Just a few headlines. There are lots and lots more. If I keep on showing you the headlines, our session will finish. But nevertheless, these are important. Sets the context. Now let me get into my presentation fast. I heard you talking about data also. I'll share something very nice on that a little later. And here we go. All right, get this. Right, here's my presentation. Let me take you down the world of blockchain. It's a lovely, delightful world. It just is not technical. That's the best part. You can decide to do the programming if you like later on, if you haven't. But otherwise, it's not technical. That's the best part. Let's enjoy it. So blockchain is an institutional technology, not an information technology. And that's a big difference between the two, because institutional revolutions are things that don't happen very often. Now, what was the first major institutional revolution in our lifetimes? The internet. Now, with the internet came a lot of data-based economy emerged, a digital economy emerged, and you're studying a lot of data, I believe in that. That's what I said. Now come here and see what data has done. Data has created companies from scratch. The Amazons, the Flipkart, the Facebooks are all the data age corporates. They've overtaken conventional IBMs and Ford Motors, etc. They've overtaken that. Well, for that matter, now even cryptocurrency has taken over a whole lot of them, but that's another story for another day. Let's come back here. This is the second revolution in our own lifetimes. In a one lifetime, you hardly see one revolution. Here we've got a second one. Let's see how. Two very significant things happened in India in the last year, exactly in the last 12 to 14 months. Very major thing. One, the Niti Aayog. You know Niti Aayog. It's the think tank and the advisory for the government of India. It took out its first paper called the Blockchain, the India Strategy. It didn't take out one on AI. It didn't take on cloud computing. It didn't take out on big data. It didn't take out on any other subject, not yet at least. But it took out on India the blockchain strategy. There's a reason. Throughout, as we go through the presentation, you'll know what I'm talking about. But here we go. It's the strategy plan for adopting blockchain in India as a nation. A nation adopts blockchain equals to huge opportunities. And I'm glad I'm part of the people who've actually contributed to this document and the next one which came in as well. That is this one. This happened in Jan 2021, which is just last month. Jan 28th or 29th was the publication of this second document called the National Strategy on Blockchain. Now, Jan 20, Ministry of Electronics and Technology, that is mighty. Here it was the Niti Aayog took it out, followed up by the ministry. They rolled out the National Strategy on Blockchain. Again, not on AI, not machine learning, not data science, nothing, none of those, but on blockchain. Why? Because blockchain works with all of them anyway, that's why. And also, blockchain pervades all other technologies which we are currently working on, all emerging technologies. That's very important. These two are very significant milestones in the blockchain adoption in India. Based on this, there has been a huge growth of blockchain adoption, and projects. We'll cover them a little later. Forbes came out with one of the best statements ever, and you will remember this statement throughout your lives as you join corporates or set up your own businesses. Very soon, we won't trust anything unless it's backed by blockchain. Very big statement. Bookmark this, keep it in your mind. I'll come back to this, why the statement has become, why Forbes is telling us that we won't trust anything unless it's backed by blockchain. I'll come back to that. We have she's an influential person in the industry. And she says blockchain is as significant now as the internet was 25 years ago. That's exactly what I shared with you. 25 years ago, when it came, it created a digital economy, digital companies, everything changed. The whole paradigm of doing business changed. You and I are speaking today because of the internet. You can hear me. In fact, I believe that the internet has shrunk the globe. It has. It's made us all closer. It's made us community-centric rather than nation-centric. It's fantastic. You and I, you can stay without food and water for a day, but I don't think most of us can stay without the internet for a day. No calls, no mails, no WhatsApp, Facebooks, no Instagrams, no Twitters. A lot of things can happen. Oh, anyway, bottom line, that's really significant. Internet, now blockchain. This is, if you're a management student, and yes, you'll be studying a lot of data science and big data and data analytics, etc., this is a very good statement, and you must keep a record of this. The old question used to be, is it in the database? Right, everything's in the database. Your financial data, your academic data, your health data, everything can be put on the database. Yes, that's not going to be the question anymore, friends. It's going to be replaced by, is it on the blockchain? Is your data on the blockchain? Now the question is integrity of the data, the security of the data, and more important, the veracity of the data. That's key in any business, because the future businesses will not run on anything else but the fuel of trust. Trust cannot be bought. Trust has to be shown and showcased. Blockchain shows and showcases trust. Because of its very nature and its fundamentals, it shows trust. We have Bill Gates saying, well, blockchain will be a new game changer in the coming decade. Well, he's absolutely right. They have invested billions of dollars in the blockchain. And the minute you're using your Microsoft Azure, et cetera, you're already on the blockchain. Blockchain is like Intel. You says IBM or Lenovo or Dell or anything else wrap. But what's inside? It's Intel inside. Blockchain is the Intel inside most of the digital series now. In fact, even when we talked about, we all, I'm sure most of you are on Twitter also. Jack Dorsey, about a couple of months back, said he's going to get right onto the blockchain because they were hacked a couple of months back. That's not great. So he's going to move entirely on to the blockchain, and there are many, many more will follow. It's going to be a huge new paradigm. We have even a prime minister mentioning this in the US-India Business Council, where he spoke and he said opportunities in tech also include opportunities in frontier technology, the 5G and blockchain. What is a frontier technology? Well, unlike any other technology that sorts out problems like workflow, ease of business, streamlining business, aligning business, blockchain is that one technology that has the capabilities of creating an economic and social impact as well. Therefore, it's called a frontier technology. It's always at the front, at the forefront of all technologies. Well, that's what the Prime Minister said. Before I get into my agenda, I've just given you what the world is talking about. Now, let me show you a video. We all know the Jack Ma's and the Richard Bransons and the Elon Musk in the news recently. Let's make a small video on what they say about blockchain. Let me show you that. And blockchain says, here we go. Right. Sit back, relax, enjoy this video. I'll come back in a minute with you again. Well, in a few minutes once this video is over. Here we go.
I think blockchain is going to be a very critical technology for the future development of the world. It's not only about financial. Blockchain technology is not about Bitcoins. Bitcoin is just a small function of the blockchain technology. I'm a strong believer of the blockchain technology.
This is not about Bitcoin or digital currencies or crypto assets. It's the underlying blockchain technology. Now people can trust each other and they can transact with anything from money to music, to votes, to their identities, peer-to-peer.
Bitcoin is either MySpace or it's Facebook, I don't know. But blockchain is social media. So at the macro, blockchain is going nowhere. Right? Here to stay forever. It's a very big deal.
Enter blockchain. Satoshi Nakamoto, 2008, anonymous person, came up with this way of people transacting, doing business with assets, peer-to-peer. And trust is not achieved by a middleman. It's achieved by cryptography, by collaboration, and by some clever code. And what that means is that we now have a native digital medium for value.
Effectively, so it's a distributed database that's managed independently, and that inherent combination makes it a utility, makes it software effectively that has value in the chain.
The business world of the future, say 10 years from now, is going to run on smart contracts. It's going to run on strong encryption and on, peer-to-peer based consensus mechanisms. So the core technologies underlying blockchain are going to pervade everything, just like the internet has, just like object-oriented software has, right? No.
So the choice, when I talk to people, I said, what do you think will be here in 2040, approximately 22 years from now? Will golf still be here? Well, it's been here since eternity.
Well,
will the dollar be here?
Right.
I don't think so. And will blockchain be here? I think so.
We think of Bitcoin
as a digital gold, so gold 2.0. But it's money, the first step of money that was ever built purposely for the internet. So it's sort of like what your email did to snail mail. Cryptocurrency or Bitcoin does for money.
Well, Bitcoin is exciting because it shows how cheap it can be. Bitcoin is better than currency in that you don't have to be physically in the same place. And of course, for large transactions, currency can get pretty inconvenient. The customers we're talking about aren't trying to be anonymous. You know, they're willing to be known. So Bitcoin technology, you could add to it, or you could build a similar technology where there's enough attribution that people feel comfortable. This has nothing to do with terrorism or any type of money laundering.
Still very early. Institutions, everybody knows about it. Everyone's heard about it, and there's some very sophisticated people in who know about the currency, but they're still not really in the game yet. It's still very much a retail-driven market. Very much a lot of the actions out in Asia. So we still think it's the bottom of the first inning. If you read this book, you understand how we got here and how far it's come. But it's also just sort of the beginning in a lot of ways.
Well, I think it is working, and there will be other currencies like it that may be even better. But in the meantime, there's a big industry around Bitcoin, and you know, people have made fortunes out of Bitcoin. Some people have lost money out of Bitcoin.
It's volatile. It's volatile.
Yeah, but it's that, you know, when volatility, people can make money out of volatility.
So where I see crypto as effectively as a replacement for cash, but not as a replacement for as a primary. I do not see crypto being the primary database.
I would say there's a lot of need for developers even at the core protocol layer. So things like improving protocol scalability, working on the client implementations of things like proof of stake. Layer 2 systems, things like state channels and Plasma could probably use a lot more smart people. On the application stuff, I mean, I guess you could always use more, but there's probably quite a lot more of that already.
Right, that's a big market, guys. And with that, I'll stop this and I'll take you into the next section. That is back to my presentation. So we saw that it's got a big opportunity right here. This video was shot about 2 years back. So from there, things have moved dramatically. In fact, so much so, well, I can't even believe to tell you. Today, Bitcoin has crossed, for example, $50,000. Now, we don't have to confuse Bitcoin and blockchain, and I'll explain that to you in my presentation, okay? But that's the value of the blockchain because it creates trust, and therefore the Bitcoin also is now gaining in value. I'll show you back here. Now, let's come back here and let's quickly understand what is blockchain in very simple terms. No complicated, technical terms, very simple. Where did it start? Because very important for all of you MBA students, management students, for you to know how did it start when we already had a financial system? What is the need for it? So on and so forth. And where are the jobs, the careers for you? Let me take you through this little part now. Do you know this? Do not keep all your eggs in one basket. Yes, we've all heard that. You know, just imagine now the basket being the centralized database and the eggs being the data, right? Now, what happens if you got all your eggs in one basket? Well, we all know what can happen. Well, somebody can just walk off with the basket. Somebody can steal the basket. Somebody can drop the basket. A couple of eggs might break. Somebody can just steal a couple of eggs from there. Lots of things can happen. A lot of probabilities when all your data is in a centralized repository, which is how traditional databases are stored. Yes, we have a lot of protocols, we have cyber security, etc., etc. But guess what? Cybersecurity is not as safe as we think it is. Trust me. We had the big baskets, and we had a couple of, payment gateways, which had all their data right on the dark web for anyone to use and buy. Not safe, not good. Anyways, so now you imagine your basket and 12 eggs in a basket. How easy it is to destroy all of them. Very easy, all in one place. Now imagine this. You put 12 baskets and the 12 eggs in the 12 different baskets and spread them right across the country or the globe or your house or your, or your building, whatever. What are the chances that all of them will be stolen? Very remote. What are the chances that all will be destroyed? Very remote. That's what blockchain does. So basically what it does is whatever is generated, whatever it could be financial, it could be analytical, it could be the web data, it could be your telephonic data, telecom data, anything. It's a timestamp series of immutable records. That's the key word here, immutable. You cannot tamper with blockchain. You cannot make any manipulations on the blockchain data. No, and that's why blockchain is getting so much prominence and importance. So it's a timestamp. That's one. Once you start using it, automatically the block starts getting created. The block is nothing but a data block. Second, it's immutable. And third, it's not owned by any single entity. That's the best part. If you don't have it belonging to a single entity, so you can't bribe the entity, you cannot compromise the entity, you cannot do anything unless you're a human being. Anyways, them are linked together with a hash or cryptographic principles called the chain. A chain, just like your keychain. It's just like a jigsaw puzzle. You fit one piece, then the correct piece, and then the third correct piece until you form the complete puzzle. Till you put the correct piece, the jigsaw will never form. So that's a little blockchain. Blockchain, nothing but data on a block. So yeah, this is very simple. We are showing it here. Here we go. We put all the data here. It gets blocked together, links to the previous one. It will only link if the correct information and this information, the new information matches. If it doesn't match, it doesn't link. And that's what makes it very secure. Each block is attached and a chain is formed. That's an irreversible chain. You cannot remove any blocks unless there's a consensus of everybody in that blockchain. You cannot manipulate that data. You cannot make any amendments also. If you have to make any changes, you have to remove the block completely. After consensus, create a new one and put it back inside with all the timestamp series that everybody knows what was there before and what is there now. Anyways, in short, it's a fantastic way. Now let me just explain to you from an example. We all use net banking. We use that every day almost. We purchase things from MasterCard, Visa, or we send money to our loved ones. Here's an example of how. Suppose I'm sitting here, maybe in the United States, and here we are. Somebody wants, my wife is in India shopping, and she says, hey, Raj, send me some money. I got a real good bargains out here. Oh, fine, but I'll send it across to you. So what do? I go online or I use my app, couple of buttons, couple of security protocols, and voila, within some time, within a couple of hours, because it's an international one, or if it's a local one, within a couple of minutes or seconds, it's with her. Great. Everything is fine. I send it from any bank, she received it whatever bank. And all the data is stored in your repository, cloud, or whatever. Right here. Now, what's the catch? There's no catch. But there are three fundamental things which are important here. A, you have to have a bank involved somewhere. Whenever there's a bank involved, there are service charges. That's first. Second, if it's a credit card, of course, use MasterCard, Visa, whatever. Again, there will be charges. Use other services like you use Western Union or use Paytm, whatever. Whether you like it or not, there are charges, either to you or to the vendor. Somebody's paying somewhere, right? They could be ranging from 1% to 3%, or whatever it could be. Bottom line is there are charges. Now, with the Bitcoin network, what changed? The bank disappeared. We don't need the bank. Blockchain came and said, listen, guys, we create a financial system, a better financial system where we don't need an intermediary. An intermediary, in this case, was the bank or a MasterCard or a Visa or a Google Pay, Days, whatever you use. Why don't you need a bank? Why would you need a bank if you could send money from here to there? Without the bank, I don't need to pay the commissions. I don't need anybody in the middle. Not only for money, it could be for any asset for that matter. It could be for IP rights, anything. Anyways, so one thing was the bank disappeared. And the second thing, your data, instead of being locked up in one place, now is in hundreds and thousands of modes right across the globe. That's the beauty of it. It's spread. The risk is spread. Very difficult to hack into. It has now become disintermediated. There is no intermediary. It's distributed all over. It's decentralized. It's no longer one place. And therefore, it is trustful. Only protocols which bring about programmable trust. You can program trust through blockchain and the smart contracts which it creates. That's the principles of blockchain, which started with the financial industry. Now we apply it to every other industry. This is the same thing. The ledger becomes spread. I'll show you something else later. Now, how did it start? Well, that's a very good question. Why did it start? So blockchain basically secures data, great, everything, but why was not cybersecurity doing it? Let's answer some of these questions now. First of all, we had a financial system. We had all the cybersecurity protocols. We had a lot of security data, passwords, all sorts of things. Wow. But still, there were so many instances of hacking, so many financial irregularities. And that got precipitated in 2008. In 2008, the Dow Jones Industry Average crashed. It crashed from a high of 14,000 plus to about 7,000. It crashed miserably. Why was it? Because there was a financial crisis. There were a lot of financial, brothers shut down, hundreds and thousands of mid-sized and small businesses and big businesses all shut down. Many people lost their homes, they lost their businesses, everything. Why? Because there were a lot of irregularities in the system, and they were found out. They've always been there, but they were found out. So somebody decided that we need to have a better, more robust system. We will not say that the financial system is bad. It's great. It's been working for all these years, but there are loopholes. How do we plug those loopholes? Because that's going to be gaping and becoming windows of opportunity for cyber hacks. So somebody said, let's make it safe. And that's why one white paper published in 2008. In 2008, a paper was published. It said, well, you don't need banks. I can transfer assets from peer to peer, means person to person, without using any middleman or an intermediary. That's what was revolutionary. Now banks also said, what the hell, that's some scam, that's a fraud, that's a fake, etc., etc. That's not true. Thing was, it actually created a system. And Bitcoin, by the way, was a byproduct of the system, just to prove that a digital currency can go from A to B without a bank. So the whole system was created. It was attributed to a gentleman called Satoshi Nakamoto. Now he's anonymous. That's an alias. That's not his real name. No one really knows who this gentleman was, but it is clearly believed that there was a lot of people working behind the scenes, and it is believed in all our blockchain Bitcoin circles that these are the main people behind this whole system. Samsung and Toshiba, Sa and Toshi came from there. Nakamichi Corporation and Motorola, Naka and Moto came from there. That's why it's called Satoshi Nakamoto. Now, a lot of people believe that these are the guys who really made the system work behind the scenes. Quite possible, not proved, but possible. Just a little trivia. So what they did, they brought about the Bitcoin. Now, there were three layers. The journey started of Bitcoin. Now, the first from 2011 to 16, that was of awareness. People didn't know, what is this new technology? What does it do? Is it only for finance? What is it? Is it for money laundering? What exactly is it? Everyone was clueless. It took 5 years to people to understand the technology in entirety. I was fortunate to be part of this wave myself. But yes, the more important than just the Bitcoin was the blockchain. The blockchain is the highway on which the Bitcoin, which is a car, rides. There are many more applications. Bitcoin is just one of them. So when we understood the highway, we understood the technology, and said, well, that can be used in other, many different other spaces, like other sectors, like manufacturing, banking, lots more. Because the principles were safe. With blockchain, we could create a series of codes, and we called it smart contract, self-executing contracts, which form a very strong pillar of blockchain. And then we experimented from 2016 to 18, lots of large enterprise, small enterprise, all got, let's create some proof of concepts here. That's when it really worked the magic. By 2018 to 22, we are now seeing the transformation of our technology and spreading in all sectors. And that's why I say blockchain will touch us every day. So someone can mute the mic, please. Someone's mic is on. Please. Appreciate it. Thank you. So which are the sectors using blockchain? We saw that the banking sector is definitely going to be using it because the banker said, well, listen, we can't beat blockchain. So let's join the bandwagon. Let's join it. We're happy to know that ICICI Bank, Axis Bank, and 5 other banks from India are now on the blockchain. And it's just a matter of time before the others also migrate onto the blockchain. Now, blockchain doesn't replace all the cash settlement, debts, forex settlements, anything to do with transfer monies, all that section is impacted, and that's a huge section for huge revenues come from there. The government has taken, and I show you 2 very key documents. Have a look at those 2 documents whenever you can. The retail industry, the manufacturing industry, the supply chain, agriculture, logistics, healthcare. Well, you've heard of the national healthcare card, which is coming up. All your data is going to be on that. All your health data, your prescriptions, your everything about you will be there. Would you like that to be in the hands of everybody? I don't think so. I think that's why it's going to be a hope of the blockchain. Now, your Aadhaar card, PAN card, etc., is with everybody. More than 500,000 people in this country, marketing people have your Aadhaar and PAN card and everything they want to know. Your data is absolutely open to all, which is not a great thing. Very sad, but not great. That's there. Anyway, so they're going to be adopting blockchain soon as well. Media, utilities like electricity, renewable energy, water, all going to be in the blockchain. Real estate, imagine now all our real estate documents, our property taxes, our registry documents, all will be on the blockchain. Why? Again, time-stamped, immutable, absolutely safe, and of course traceable. There will be less disputes on land in the future and more clarity on titles, land titles. And of course, voting. In fact, our election commissioner mentioned that he would be doing a pilot on blockchain. Now, that's a very big move forward for a democracy such as ours. Have a look. This is the pie. Right now, the banking and finance sector dominates it, but there are many other slices coming in. Not only that, have a look at what's happening at the government level. We have more than 90 projects going on the blockchain since 2020. That's a very large proportion. 14 states are adopting blockchain, which includes Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, that's Maharashtra. I've just finished the whole here in Maharashtra, and I put all the property tax from Thane city on the blockchain. So there's a lot of work going on right across, and land registry, insurance, digital certificates. These are the key. These are the key for any that were happening. Every state is taking up. You see, only some of the northeastern states have yet to adapt it, but yeah, most of them all good. So before I go further, let me show you a little video on how different sectors are using blockchain. Let's have a look at that first and come back here again. And here we go. And here we are.
Blockchain. The open source digital ledger is known as the backbone of cryptocurrencies. But the tech community has been busy finding other innovative ways to apply the technology. So let's take a look at just some of its potential uses. The first is banking. The existing banking system is complex and often slow due to multiple layers of intermediation. Blockchain provides a secure way of sending digital assets without these third parties. Not only could this simplify the banking process, but it could also open the doors to those with no previous access to financial services. Next is real estate. Without the need for middlemen, this sector could also see vast changes. Blockchain can process title deeds, facilitate transactions, and even grant access to properties through smart keys. The technology could streamline property sales, saving buyers time and money. In third is legal services. In a similar way to real estate, blockchain could disrupt the practice of law through smart contracts. These are legally binding contracts that are written in code so they can be executed exactly as intended. Next, we have online voting. Blockchain companies are exploring the potential to digitalize voting systems. The fear of hackers manipulating online votes could be put to rest by encrypted blockchains, creating a transparent and secure voting system. The fifth potential use of blockchain is financial trading. The Nasdaq Stock Exchange announced it would consider blockchain as a means of recording transactions and data. If this system is successful, replicated in exchange across the world. Next up is food production. Blockchain technology can also be used to simplify the way we produce food, tracking goods from farm to fork. Efficiency in the supply chain would mean more profit for companies, improved food safety, and fresher produce. In seventh is airlines, who are exploring the capacity of blockchain to speed up passenger identification and processing. It could cut down the amount of time spent in queues, and passports could be stored on the ledger itself. Following this is personal identification. Blockchain could merge all sources of ID into one open source and secure record. This would reduce theft and loss of documentation while protecting the individual's right to privacy. The ninth use is music rights. Blockchain can be used to improve the rights of producers and musicians in an era of digital streaming. The ledger could facilitate instant transmissions of artistic royalties each time a song is played online. And finally, the healthcare industry, exploring the potential of blockchain in the exchange of data to improve transparency and...
Yeah, it's transparency and traceability. And that's what the National Health Card and many other projects are going on right across the globe. Now, that's big. I come back to my presentation so that we can wrap it up soon. Let's see what experts are saying. We all heard of the big boys called Gartner. Gartner says it's going to be a 3 trillion industry by 2030. Yes, 3 trillion. It's more than the GDP of our nation right now. Of course, one day we will overtake, and hopefully very soon. But bottom line right now, it's a big industry. That's just the blockchain industry. It's not the GDP, it's just an industry. They're not a real comparison, but great to see the big numbers there. The demand is 400% over the last year. NASCOM said there are just 45 to 60,000 skilled resources in the world today in the blockchain. What do these numbers translate into? Opportunity for all of us, for all you students. Huge opportunity to be part of the fastest growing platform, the fastest growing area, and that's an opportunity. Let's have a look what else. LinkedIn. LinkedIn said is the most in-demand job skill. Just go to LinkedIn and search for the most in-demand job skill. Number 1, blockchain. NASCOM also said, listen guys, in India, we just got 5,000 professionals who have blockchain skills. Pathetic. Out of 1.3 billion people, we got just 5,000, and India is the IT cradle for the world. So when I started my organization, I said, I'm going to make India Nalanda, that is the cradle of blockchain for the world, not just Asia. And we're doing just that.
Well, we have Paul Dupoir. He said, listen, guys, the salaries for ready to be deployed professionals in blockchain background are twice that of a one without blockchain expertise. Well, Paul Dupoir, the brand said India does a lot of recruitment for all the big boys, all the IBMs, Cognizants, all the big boys, Wipros, everybody. So he says that you got blockchain experience, we get you double the salary, sometimes even thrice. That's great news. So what are your jobs and opportunities, guys? Let's have a quick look at that. These are for techies. We don't need to really look. If you're not technical, no problem, but they're fantastic jobs for developer, engineers, quality engineers, and architects. But I believe you guys are not, so no problem. You can blockchain. Now, you've been analyzing a lot of data from what I've heard in the beginning of our session. Well, here's your opportunity. They're paid very heavily. Research analysts, fantastic salaries. These are, if you're doing a big data or data science, and if you combine those with blockchain skills, well, you got yourself a winner. You got yourself a differentiator. You're not going to be one of the crowd. You're going to be away from the crowd. You stand out. You can even be a risk analyst. And all these go well hand in hand with whatever you're doing in data analytics or big data or data sciences. If you want to become an entrepreneur, nothing like it. Massive investments coming in the blockchain startup arena specifically, and I'll share more on that. Blockchain project managers, blockchain attorneys, blockchain tech. Now, if somebody is doing an MBA with for that matter, you can become a blockchain tech recruiter, because how would you hire blockchain talent if you yourself don't know much about blockchain? Well, that's an opportunity too. So we have a blockchain product manager as well. If you just have a look at this these are some of the new jobs that kind of recently. Crypto journalists. There are lots of now sites, etc. Bitcoin news. They all want people. They want crypto journalists. They want people who can report. But you have to understand blockchain and crypto for that. Then you have a crypto community managers. You can have analyst relationship managers. Blockchain business development, very high paying jobs. What's not mentioned here is also blockchain product managers, which I'll show you. And ICO advisors. Now you've heard of IPOs, initial public offerings. Now we have initial coin offerings, which are going to be the norm as the years roll by. And a lot of ICOs are now, and if you're blockchain certified, well, you can become an advisor as an ICO advisors. Very few. And there's a huge demand from all banks in India, all BFSI sector, and venture capitalists, investment funds, all want ICO advisors. They are the ones who understand the life, not the funds and banks themselves. They're yet to come to terms. That's your opportunity. Salaries, well, first of all, a lot of people, there's a growth of 2,000 to 6,000% in the job space in the last couple of years. And salaries from last year to this year have jumped almost 50 to 100% more than other jobs. I think it's a great place to be. You can have a look at this website called PayScale. You have a look at PayScale, you will find all the different type of jobs, and you can have a quick look at that. In the meantime, this is what my interest is. This is what I want you to see. See, while you have, this is your Forbes blockchain wheel set, everyone has a demand. There's a project manager who's a non-technical guy, has a demand of 8.5 on 10. You have research analysts, which have 8.2 on 10. You have technical recruiters. You have data scientists right here. You have marketing specialists right there, legal consultants. All these are non-tech jobs. While the developer, engineers, and blockchain, these three are technical jobs, most of the others are non-technical jobs. That's, again, your opportunity. Well, these are the guys who recruit. No, not all. There's some. There's some, yes, because these are the guys I teach right now. I work with them. I upskill all and reskill their existing professionals, because they say we don't get good blockchain professionals from Indian colleges and universities. Now, we're going to change that paradigm for sure. But in the meantime, I'm helping them. Helping them get the skill sets in place, because these are the skills of a few of them. They didn't have that when they were taught. Now they have the opportunity to learn. So that's big. Now, these also come to recruit big time from colleges and universities, which have blockchain skill sets, not just perfunctory skill sets, but deep dive skill sets. So before I wrap up, this is something what's happening in blockchain. Technical blockchain services, $20 billion per year. It's going to be blockchain-based projects, $360 billion of value by 2026, which is 5 years away. The world's largest banks have invested $50 billion to build a blockchain-based digital cash settlement system. Yes, that's where the banks were feeling the pinch. That sector. 55% of healthcare is going to adopt blockchain in another 3 years' time or 4 years' time, and that's exactly what's happening. Blockchain investment again in a startup space was up to 80% in the first 3 quarters of the 2019. 2020 figures are yet to come, but it's more than this for sure by now. And financial companies also figured out that they save $12 billion a year from using blockchain. So those are the headlines we read in the beginning. So now blockchain is not just a demand in India. You got a lot of overseas opportunities as well. We have what is the Prime Minister Cotton of Australia saying you must adopt blockchain, and I'm going to make it a part of my job maker agenda. What's the job maker agenda? It's the country's agenda to create talent. The talent they have shortlisted, which is number 1 on the list, blockchain. You know that they have actually floated a program in which they file visas for students and applicants who are blockchain qualified, because they need 25 to 35,000 people as per the national roadmap for Australia in the next 2-3 years. That's a huge demand. You know, in countries like India, Vietnam can get them because they're stopped taking from Vietnam. So that's a big opportunity. We have Canada saying the same thing. Navdeep Bains, he's the Minister of Innovation, Science and Industry. He says, oh, welcome to Canada, guys. If you have blockchain experience, we'll fast track your visa. Happy to do that. So blockchain is big. Well, what we've done is we partnered with the Queensland government right now to bring in the talent from India. We partnered with a lot of universities and colleges in India, and we're partnering with a few very key special ones. We can build a blockchain of a workforce, which is going to be either working in India, even in Australia. So we bring in the internships. We help with everything in that space, right from events to implement. We've got partnerships with IBM and many others. We are actually doing a lot of placements in India and overseas. That's become big now. This is the center of excellence. We bring in everything there. These are some of the partners of the entire centers of excellence, including the United Nations and AI blockchain. There are lots of. So if I, as a student, if I'm to tell you, guys, here are 6-7 points which you should keep in mind, and then decide your call. First, is technology. Great. We have very high demand. Yes, we saw that. We saw that in our slides. Next is infrastructure. Everywhere in the world there is infrastructure. To know that in blockchain, you can make passive income while farming. Blockchain and coin farming. That's infrastructure is everywhere. You can use it anywhere. That's 60% of it right now is in China. So we can change that number in the next few years. There are multiple industries on blockchain. Again, so that in the video as well. And it integrates with new, not just it integrates with any technology. It doesn't replace any technology, making it an inclusive and not an intrusive technology. That's the best thing that everybody has to build it now. And it's an inflection point of today. It's just reached the ground floor and it's going to just blast off from there. The countdown has begun. Finally, it's got a good pay and great career prospects as well. We all want a good pay, yes, but more important, look at it from a career perspective. Fantastic in that space. So with that, I would say thank you guys for sitting in and listening into my little session. Blockchain is a vast subject. I could try and cover a little bit today, a little bit of the journey, but a small step is always a start. Thank you for that. And yeah, before I share, one more thing I would like to share with you guys. 1 second. That's something very interesting. So you're doing a lot of work in data analytics. I'll just share one document with you. All right, let me show that. And here it comes. I've in fact written a complete paper on how blockchain will disrupt data science. A complete paper was written a few days back. I wrote this paper. I presented it at a world conference, and I'm happy to share this with you guys if you need this. So thanks so much for everything. And if you have any questions, anything, any curiosity, please feel free. Cheers.
Indeed, an enriching session. Lot of information being shared. And probably something which we were really unaware of. I can comment on my end. I was completely unaware of, and students would have certainly gained a lot in this session. So I welcome you all for the question answer round, and I am sure you would be having plenty of questions. So you can, those who are having any questions may raise your hands, or you can unmute yourself and ask the question. I hope you've prepared the questions, although it was a very detailed presentation.
The questions can come later, not a problem. If they have questions now, I'll answer now. Otherwise, you can collate the questions, share it with me. I'm happy to answer them. Let me summarize a couple of things. If you're MBA students or management students, you have a fantastic opportunity. It's a ground floor opportunity. It's just starting. By the time you pass out with solid background given by Chanakya and your mentors around them, you will be able to do that. Now, if you need to do your own business, I'm happy to bring in international mentorships, international funding for your startups. You guys are MBA. You guys can think business. Think business. If you got to do analytics, blockchain and analytics and data science are the best marriage today. Think about it. I've got a paper which I wrote, and I presented it at an international forum, at a fintech forum, and it was very well appreciated. Happy to share with you and the students so they can understand the value of what they're studying and how blockchain can take it way, way, way higher. So of all the MBA students, it's a great opportunity. If you still have questions, please, I'm here. I've explained quite a bit, but always there may be some questions, some doubts, some clarifications. Feel free.
So waiting for the questions. If anybody has any question.
No problem. Oh, I think we have, oh yes, somebody.
Yeah.
Yes,
one question.
Sharma has a question here. I'll check it up on chat. Are there any branches of blockchain, or is there only primary technology? I told you it's an institution technology. When you talk about branches, there are no branches. It's used in every sector. So if you can call that branches, yes, every sector, but blockchain is a part of what is known as the distributed ledger technology. And a good question, it is also gives rise to fintech, which is one of the branches, financial technology, fintech. So if you are a MBA finance, fintech is what you can specialize in within the blockchain scenarios. So it's not just a primary technology, it's an all-encompassing technology as well. I hope I've answered your question, Sachin. So how can we get into blockchain as a beginner or marketing students? You know, Rahul, I think at TPCRA, I think they've arranged this for you. They'll be very happy to share this with you. Another thing is that I have actually developed a complete course in marketing, and it's a complete module on how digital marketing is using blockchain, which is going to become very vital, because when you talk about marketing today, by the time you get out into the corporates, they'll be talking to you about do you know how to implement the blockchain aspect? Because blockchain is saving companies 70 to 80% of their social media spend on Google, Facebook, etc., etc. How do you do that? Understand blockchain, and you will be able to draw that line. And you will be the person, go-to person as a corporate guy in the marketing sector. So marketing is very heavily impacted by blockchain. Yes, I think Ritesh is here. He'll be able to share that as well. There's a module there created specifically for Indian universities and colleges. Does it affect the cost involved? Now, that's a good question. It's a good question from your perspective. First of all, the cost of blockchain is really negligible. It all depends which blockchain you're using. But existing systems do not have to be replaced. Only layers of blockchain have to be added. So it's actually not very expensive. We are partners with a company in the United States. You all have Disney, I'm sure, Walt Disney. Now, Walt Disney has its own blockchain, an innovative company called Disney Dragon Chain. We've created a Dragon Chain, which is the cheapest Dragon Chain in the world, and quantum computing proof means secure. You cannot hack into it no matter what happens. Somebody took out a quantum computer which can get into some of the systems. This one is finished. It doesn't allow you to get inside. In fact, if you go to the site, it's called the blockchain of blockchains. So we are the India partners, and we bring this as a center. We teach this to non-technical students as well. So yes, it doesn't affect the cost too much. The cost of losing data or being hacked so much that this cost is absolutely negligible. So what are the different blockchains? The private blockchain, there's a public blockchain. Public blockchain where it's used in public. Of course, private blockchains are used by corporates internally, and hybrid are, and some of the data can be shared with public and some to be kept together. These are three different major types of blockchain. So you have you have these answers, but I'm glad you asked these questions. They were nice, insightful questions, because yes, the cost is important, the security is important. You know something? A lot of cybersecurity companies are using blockchain to add the extra layers of security to prevent hacking into their systems. Most of them are now using blockchain. So I hope I've answered you guys. We just had, we just hired for one of the banks which I'm consulting for, they hired a chief blockchain officer, by the way, and his salary was 2.1 crore per annum. That's the starting salary for a chief blockchain officer. I'm sure that's a very, very delicious sounding salary. I mean, it's available. There are many banks getting into this space because there's nobody right now existing inside the system which knows blockchain. So they're looking at outside talent. If not, they call us in and we train their inside talent. We'd like to train students instead because the students are the roots.
I think this is the most enticing feature. Salary, probably yes. If we normally ask the students, why are you doing PGDM for, or why are you there in the management course, or what is the reason for a professional course? It's the job and a good salary. Yes. So I think salary is the most enticing part of this session. Of course, in this technology.
Let me give you an example. You're right, absolutely right. Let me give you another small example when we talk about salaries. Do you know a person with 2 or 3 years experience in blockchain earns more than the GM of all public sector banks in India?
That's really
great. The value. That's in 3 years' time. We just had a placement drive down south in one of the universities. We placed 18 people in the non-technical section. I'm not talking about the tech one, with a starting salary of 15 to 18 lakh rupees per annum, which is again a great salary, especially coming post-pandemic. All of them project managers. And let's talk about the best salary. We can create a pathway program for your students where they can get a job and requires project managers big time. Starting salary after we've completed the pathway program is 130,000 Australian dollars starting. That's big. That's one of the highest salaries paid in any space, anywhere in most countries. The same thing is in Canada as well, in USA, yes, but yeah, Australia has a complete pathway program. They want skilled migrants to go there, and they're fast tracking their PR visa. Can you imagine that? A country saying, please come to Indians. Wow, it's a great thing. Normally, the Indians say, oh, you stay where you are, you guys are good where you are. But yeah, listen, it's changing. We've got the talent here. We've got everything out here. Let's make that happen. So we are partners with the government of Queensland for this particular program as well. So that's great. Salaries are always nice. Opportunities are good because it's a young technology. Yeah. Enterprise usage has been just 3 years young. 3 years young. That's it. That's the opportunity for the next 15, 20 years for all of us. That's the time to make careers. We look at the rainbow arc from here to there. We don't look at it only right now. We look at it how 15 years from now, where am I going to be in this space? Well, whichever one of you is in the space 15 years from now, you must give me a nice treat. Okay, I'm going to ask for a treat from every one of you, because you'll be sitting pretty.
Probably right. Yes, they will be pushing now harder themselves harder to learn the technology. And the news was that blockchain is a new technology. But the good news is that it is there. We've got the management students also scope there. So the job opportunities that you've discussed about the research analysts, the consulting jobs, and they are going through a course for being a data scientist. So what an amalgamation!
It merges beautifully. I can also help your college, university bring in consulting projects which the faculty and students can do together. We bring in a lot of projects from overseas. They can actually get their hands dirty on real life projects rather than just simulation or an internship. It doesn't carry any value, so to speak. You know, normally interns in India, not all of them, but most of them are given very menial jobs. Here we are saying, listen guys, doesn't matter, make mistakes, get your hands dirty, fall down, get up, let's make a start again, because you got a new technology, everybody's falling in, getting up, not just you. So you're all learning, and because blockchain is a young technology, there's an opportunity, lots of opportunity to do a lot of research, which is very critical to an MBA program. Research is extremely critical, and the value which we give research is tremendous.
Exactly. Thank you so much, sir. I think a lot of information, and when we started the session, I was thinking it should not be a zombie session. Normally, what I call my afternoon sessions, post-lunch sessions, to be zombie sessions, but it wasn't at all for the participants. I'm very sure, and very informative session. So as now we come towards the end of the session, and thanks is always we are thanking. I'm continuously thanking, but yes, thanks is again customary. And I would like to now invite Professor Pradeep Verma, who's the area chair of Business Analytics and IT. He's the man behind the endeavor, and probably a word of thanks is imperative here. So over to you, Professor Pradeep.
Thank you.
You're muted, sir.
My voice audible to you?
No, sir, it's showing mute. So you need to unmute yourself.
Professor, you just have to unmute yourself.
Some technical glitches happening.
Happens. That's why I say put all technology on the blockchain. These glitches will all go away.
Yeah.
It's just a question of time.
Everything is, so probably we'll be encountering lesser problems. I think so. If you want to,
yeah, you can probably log in again, I guess.
little time. It's taking a little more time.
I'm audible.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay. Thank you.
Finally, we can hear you.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, and thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful session. And after listening your session, I have yes, we can say that blockchain definitely be a wonderful word, and we can do miracle with the help of blockchain, right, sir? And with this, yes, and with this, I just want to thanks a lot for you for this wonderful session.
You too.
Respected director, sir, my dear faculty. And my dear students, on the behalf of Indian Blockchain Alliance for spreading his valuable time with us. And blockchain, as we know, everything is valuable. And when we talk about the data, we have to kept our data, and we perform everything with the help of data itself. And blockchain is such a concept where we have to convert our data into the blocks, and we try to associate their linkage to each other and spread into the cryptography environment. Yeah. So, and our Indian Niti Aayog is also welcoming and adopting such kind of strategy of blockchain. And blockchain, no doubt, be an emerging technologies, and through which we can do a lot of miracles. And you well said about the blockchain, its journey, its origin, and how the prospects of blockchain and where we have to apply it. There are lot many applications of blockchain, like in the area of banking, retails, manufacturing, supply chain, agriculture, logistic, media, voting online. So, and there are a lot of opportunities in jobs regarding blockchain. So thank you so much, sir, for such wonderful session. And I'm sure our students will definitely get benefited from your session. Thanks a lot once again to being with us. Thank you so much, sir.
Bye-bye.
Bye. With this word, yes, I would like to wind up this session. Thanks a lot, sir.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Raj.
Thank you.